Hey, my name is Joe Thorne, and this is my final reflection video for EDM310 at the University of South Alabama. Uh, First thing I kind of want to talk about, reflecting back on, is what I've learned. Uh, One of the big things would be blogs. Never had anything to do with blogs before this class. I'd heard about them, people writing their blogs, people reading other people's blogs, commenting. I never had anything to do with that. Once I got into EDM310, I felt like I became a better writer of blogs as I progressed on through the course. Not near what I should be, maybe, but definitely better than where I began. Another thing I learned a lot about was Twitter. I never used Twitter. I had a Twitter account, but only because I was bored one day and decided to make an account. I was on it for a total of 5 minutes and never got on it again. Found out Twitter's a really good way to connect, more professional level. It seems like more professionals are on Twitter than any other social media. So for like a PLN system, PLN network, it's great to have Twitter. Another thing, probably the biggest thing I'll take from this class, is Google Docs. Google Docs has saved my life throughout this semester. Especially I feel like it made EDM310 so much easier using Google Docs and introducing me to Google Docs. Me and my group, the Psychotic Salmon Berserkers, we actually use Google Docs with our final video, getting prepared for it, sharing our ideas and everything. So I feel like Google Docs is something I'll use throughout my life until they make it better or get rid of it. That's my teaching career. I feel like that's something I will continue to use for sure, is Google Docs. Also, it's the first time I've ever used a Mac with EDM310. Probably never, I don't believe I've ever touched one or anything like that before that, mainly because they're just too expensive. But I've never against a Mac, not really on one side or the other, Mac versus PC. But I did find out that how to use it. I do use a Mac more efficiently now for EDM310, and that my favorite thing on there is probably iMovie. I used it throughout the course a lot to make our movies that we put up on our blog and everything with iMovie, so it's something that I feel like I'll continue to use. As for things I may abandon, I don't know if I want to use the word abandon, but blogs. In fact, I feel like I will keep a blog, if it's nothing but more than once or twice, or once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, something like that. Just my students can keep up with what's going on, just in case maybe they miss a day or something, they know what's going on. I'm not so sure if I'll make or require a blog for my students. It's really time consuming, or it can be. I'm not going to say it's out of the question, but blogs are something that, like I said, I'll probably keep up with. Something else I want to reflect back on is my dealings with groups. Throughout my career, I was a independent learner. I want to do it myself. Let me do it. If I mess it up, great, fine. I can only blame myself, instead of dealing with a whole group of people with a certain project or task at hand. With EDM310, obviously, we were put in groups, and I probably couldn't ask for a better group if I had met every single person in the class individually and chosen my group. Terry Wagner and Daniel Coker and Hunter Bramlett. I can't stress enough how much I thank them guys for being just an awesome group. But I work better with a group now. Now, like I said, I probably had an advantage of working with some of the best, probably the best 3 people in the class. But getting that group experience for me was great. In the teaching profession, that's what you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to deal with a whole group of other educators that you're going to have to cope with and get along with, whether you like them or not. Which, in my opinion, for this group, I liked everybody in my group, so it helped. But it did. I feel like I grew better working in a group environment. Thinking back now throughout this semester, and probably the most important thing I learned just technology in general from this class. I always used technology outside the classroom growing up. My computers, laptops, and MP3 players and things of that such, but never used it in the classroom. Obviously, I grew up in an area grew up in an age where it was just transitioning. Computer getting in the classroom was a newer idea or whatever, and knowing now that being an educator, something I'm gonna have to get used to. And so just in general with technology, I feel like I've done a 180 on how I use technology, how much I appreciate technology as a whole. It's true. I mean, if you're going to use it in your outside life, you're going to have to use it inside the classroom as well to learn with. And it does make learning more fun, and it also makes it more interactive for the students. So I think as a whole, just the basis of technology in the classroom has been the greatest influence. EDM had the greatest influence on me in that way of learning. The technology is something that's here to stay. You gotta get used to it. If you're not, you're gonna be left behind, and I certainly don't want to be left behind. But thank you.